really special to have everybody here. So I sit in the form of a Soto Zen lineage, and what I want to introduce to you tonight is the Soto Zen form. And so some of you may be familiar with it, and if you're not familiar with it, I want to introduce it to you and have you try on maybe something different that you haven't tried before. And so with Soto Zen, that this is an eyes open meditation. And if you've never meditated with your eyes open, I always like to use the example of when your eyes are closed and you open them, you have two different experiences. So if you learn to meditate with your eyes open, that when you go throughout your day, you can be in the same presence and awareness as you are when you are sitting in Zazen or seated meditation. And so the form of Soto Zen is a 45-degree angle looking in front of you, and if you just take a glance down, and you'll be able to see just about everybody in the room while you're looking down in front of you. And this form of looking down in front of you with a wide view is being very present and aware. Your mind will actually try to focus in on something and take you out of being present. And that's one clue that you've locked into your thinking, is when you focus on something. And this carpet is wonderful for having you think of things. It reminds me of a casino carpet when you walk through a casino. So eyes open, nice broad wide view. Your breath is the foundational point for being present and aware. When you sit in seated meditation, that by following your breath, you can't think of a thought at the exact same time. So you breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. And if you've ever heard of diaphragmatic breathing, it's breathing about 3 inches below your navel. And a lot of times when people breathe, and I know I used to do this, is I'd say, take a deep breath, and I'd go, well, it's the opposite of that. It's really letting your diaphragm come forward and be relaxed. So when I take a breath in through my nose, it looks like this. So your belly actually comes out instead of in when you take a breath, okay? So if you want to try that, just to put your hand on your diaphragm and take a breath, you have to focus on diaphragmatic breathing in order to let your belly come forward. And if you've never practiced it before and you can't do it, totally okay. Because guess what? You made it here tonight, so you're doing it perfect. All right? So no matter how you sit, you got it down. But I want you to really focus on your breath. It'll bring you back to this wide, broad vision, being very present and aware. When you sit, you see I'm sitting in an upright posture. That's an internal reflection inside your body. So by sitting upright, your internal posture is upright also and present and aware. So you can feel that energy of sitting upright and aware. The hand form that I'm going to introduce you to is called a mudra. And your left hand is out, and your right hand, your fingertips sit right they just overlap just a little bit, and your thumbs touch together very gently. And that goes 3 inches below your belly button. It rests right below it, and you want to relax your shoulders. You don't want to have your shoulders nice and taut. You want them relaxed. And when you're taking a breath, it's the base of that diaphragmatic breath that you're breathing into this mudra of where your hands are sitting. And you can think of like you're cradling a young child or a baby. You can just feel that. And when I was beginning, look at my thumbs for a second. I'd be like, okay, I got this, and I'd be sitting like this, and then my thumbs would like end up like in a form like this, and because I was like, I'm not paying attention to the form is like this, and it's like there's 2 pieces of rice paper sitting right in between your fingers. Now, this is a mudra that I invite everybody to try. If you want to put your hands here, that's great. If you want to rest them in your thighs, that's great. But this form is a Soto Zen form of seated meditation. So try it out. You may like it. Okay. When I start the meditation, I'm going to start by ringing the bell 3 times. And you're going to see me put my hand up like this. This is a form that's a gasho. It looks like this. And that's a way of saying thank you for when we bow to each other, we're all saying thank you for being here. When we bow, we're thanking ourselves for being here. This is how we start the meditation. What you're going to see is you're going to see me, this is a striker, and I'll say, okay, we're going to begin. We'll start here, and you'll see my hand go up. You don't need to move, and then I'm going to ring the bell 3 times. I'll put the striker here for a few seconds. When you see me put the striker up to my hand, you will see it, even though you're looking down at a 45-degree angle. We all bow together, nice and slowly, okay? And you'll feel the rhythm of the group when we bow together. It's not something we rush. We do it with an awareness that you'll feel the in-syncness of a sangha. It's a really neat feeling when you all bow together. So we start the meditation like that, and we end the meditation like that. So 3 strikes to the bell at the end, and then when you feel or see me put my hands together, then you do the same and do a gasho, and we bow nice and slowly together. No rush at all, okay? Lastly, if you do need to move or adjust your body, I'm going to encourage you to not be in pain or like serious discomfort. I'm going to ask you to move your body. I used to be the guy that would just tough it out. And so if you do need to move, all I'm going to ask is that you move a little slower than you would normally move. So if you're going to move your leg, if you needed to straighten it out, that you do it a little slower than you would normally do it during the day. If you need to change your leg position, I've seen people put their hands like this out. If they need to do that, go ahead and do that. And then see if you can return back to a cross-legged position or a seated position that you start out in. Okay, but just move at a slower pace than you normally would to stay in the form of being present and aware as a collective or as a group. Okay, are there any questions? You made it tonight. That's what I'm really excited about. So like I said, you can't get this wrong. We're all doing it. We're all in this together. We're going to sit for 20 minutes to start us off. And then I'll do a 10-minute Dharma talk. And then we'll sit for 10 minutes to wrap it up. So let's go ahead and get into a position that feels comfortable to you if you're not already. Put your hands either in a mudra or in a certain position. The mudra looks like this again, just to refresh your memory. Just like rice paper is sitting in between your fingertips. Your eyes are open, looking at about a 45-degree angle, just resting, breathing in your diaphragm. Thank you for being here.